7:18, and just a few hours ago, the New York City Public Advocate released this year's list of worst landlords across the city. Some of them are repeat offenders and have racked up thousands of code violations that put their renters at risk. Public Advocate Jumaane Williams here this morning with the list of the worst offenders. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And thank you for coming in. Thanks for this being your first stop after this important list comes out. What does this list mean for these landlords?
Well, hopefully it means some shaming to actually do what they're supposed to do, which is make sure you have a unit that is safe and fit for human habitation.
So we created this. This encompasses all 5 boroughs,
Absolutely.
and of course NYCHA.
Yes.
But NYCHA is its separate entity. Why?
NYCHA is Hall of Fame. So if you put NYCHA on, it dwarfs everyone else so much it doesn't really it skews the list. So NYCHA is a perpetual #1. There's actually 100,000 more open orders now than there was a year ago. Even after a monitor, after a new chair, it averaged about 300,000 a year. In November of 2019, there were about 324,000 open work orders.
That's insane. You know, Monica Morales here is an intrepid reporter for us, and she covers these issues daily with NYCHA. But we've also compiled another list that we're going to throw on the screen right now. You're talking about shaming here. So look at this. Jason Korn has 2,877 violations. He is the worst landlord on your list. What does that mean for somebody like Jason? How is he still able to be a landlord?
Well, last year Jason was #9. He strove to be #1 this year, and he was. So congratulations to Jason Korn. But it is a question that we ask all the time. Landlords have properties where they are doing the wrong thing habitually.
Yeah.
Almost 3,000, that's a lot. People understand how many units that, how many violations that actually is. That's an enormous amount. So even if he comes out and says there's some here or there that's not correct, 3,000, almost 3,000 open violations. That's B and C violations. That's heat and hot water. That's vermin. People are living here.
But how do you hold them accountable then?
And so what I hope one day people lose their buildings. That's what I hope actually happens. The law is dubious when it comes to that. I have put forth that there should be landlord licensing as well, but there isn't. So what we want to do now is try to shame them. We're going to be reaching out to banks. What people don't know is that every bank, when they write a mortgage, there's a stipulation in that you have to upkeep the building. A lot of times the banks don't know what is happening with the building. So we're going to make sure that they know that. We have to change laws, which we started to do in Albany, and we have to continue to organize. And the tenant organizer, I do know how effective that is.
Do the tenants have any rights here?
They absolutely. You have what's called a warranty of habitability, which means
they're paying rent to somebody who is the worst offender.
So in the warranty of habitability, if you're paying rent, you should have a unit that's the ability for a human to live there. That's not what's happening here. We recommend, as a tenant organizer, I used to recommend all the time, withhold your rent until these things are fixed. But a lot of times tenants don't understand their rights.
Right.
They don't know their rights, and that's where organizing comes in.
Yeah.
It is a very powerful tool, but you have to make sure government is helping support them, and that's what we're doing with this list. We want to make sure landlords get off this list. We don't want them to be there on the year after year, but we also want to encourage government to not do business with these landlords who have these kind of violations.
And we're going to have the full list on our website, pix11.com. I want to switch gear and talk about another story we're paying close attention to, which is the murder of Tessa Majors in Morningside Heights. Inflammatory comments made yesterday by the Sergeant Benevolence Association. Your response to those comments?
You know, well, Ed Mons, I always say, would make a great police chief in the segregated South. He makes these kind of comments time and time again. He may have unwittingly sided with us in showing that marijuana actually needs to be legalized. But the way it came out seemed very victim-shaming-ish, which was so disappointing. We have a young woman who was killed, Tessa Majors. We have a 13-year-old who was arrested for that. There's nothing good about this situation.
And Gail Brewer came out yesterday saying the NYPD should take their time on this, not to have another Central Park 5. Did you agree with those comments that she made?
You know, I thank Gail Brewer, for the Manhattan Borough President, for bringing this up. It is something that we have to watch. I have no idea how the case is going, and so you just have to watch it unfold. But we do have to take a step back sometimes and learn from our mistakes prior. But I do know this. There was a young woman who was dead. She came here to go to school, and she was murdered. And there's a 13-year-old who's arrested. There's nothing good about the situation, and I just encourage the NYPD as they move forward to learn from lessons previously.
Public Advocate Jumaane Williams, thank you for coming in, and thank you for the list as well. We're going to have that full list, by the way, on our website once again, pix11.com, and Jumaane will be touring some of those properties today.